Hi, I'm Molly Puppet, and this is the Molly Puppet Channel, your internet source for news and views, perspectives and opinions, and recipes for disaster. Joining me today is Carrie DeRee, Fort Hays State University teacher candidate. Hi, Carrie. Carrie's just completed 16 weeks of tutoring and is here today to talk with us about her LACE experience in her coursework, Literacy Assessment and Intervention. So Carrie, tell us all about that.
Yeah, so I just finished the tutoring portion of the class, and that went really well. I had made arrangements through the Y Kids after school care program. We met in the gym twice a week. I had decided beforehand to be flexible and communicative, and those two attributes both helped in coordinating and conducting the lessons. I worked with two first graders of varying reading skills levels. It was fun to get to know the students, their preferences and interests, their personalities. Like any practical experience, the tutoring sessions gave me an opportunity to practice positive modeling and to begin to develop my discipline process. During each tutoring session, I practiced reading aloud. This is an important skill to develop. With each session, I requested that the students engage in writing. This served two purposes. One, to strengthen their written communication skills, and two, to provide data for assessing student progress and needs. During these 16 weeks, I began to become familiar with student writing and student handwriting. And through the tutoring experience, I began to locate, use, and modify research-based reading strategies. For example, I read about Elkanon boxes, a method of segmenting words into sounds. To meet the kinesthetic learning preferences of one student in particular, I modified the strategy by creating simple painted popsicle sticks, which the students manipulated to form words. It was satisfying to see them engaged in their work.
Well, Carrie, that is interesting, Carrie. Now, Carrie, I want you to think back through your experiences, Carrie, and tell the audience, Carrie, about the challenges you, Carrie, faced during this coursework, Carrie.
Oh, by and far, the greatest challenge was to craft and implement quality lessons. We were asked to develop 14 teaching lessons around a single English language arts reading standard. At first, I floundered. In hindsight, I realized that I made the task more difficult than it need be. But with some feedback from the teacher, I was able to refocus and select the standard. From there, I could develop ABCD objectives using a cognitive taxonomy and choosing assessments to measure student progress. After I gained experience and confidence in that, I began to use my resources to locate research-based strategies for advancing student skills in comprehension, fluency, and phonological awareness. Another task that presented a challenge to me was the pre-K PT. So, to obtain my teaching license, I'll be required to complete a Kansas Performance Teaching portfolio. The pre-K PT was a helpful assignment, but it was lengthy, required quite a bit of attention to detail, and a lot of writing. As you can see, Molly, I take education very seriously.
That sounds deep. I heard you had some great breakthroughs during the course. Tell us more about that.
During my previous coursework, I had been asked to reflect on my learning and practice teaching. In this class, that training was continued. While I've always thought of myself as a reflective person, my journaling is often either very, very personal or very abstract. The reflective assignments in this class provided me with writing prompts that focused my reflection in such a way as to lead my thoughts to ideas for improvements. Being a journal writer and having seen the benefits of intentional reflection, I recognize this as a practice I will continue as a teacher. I have already begun to think about how often and under what conditions about the effectiveness of instruction. Administering the pre and post assessments were great learning opportunities. I had several chances to administer the easy CBN word reading fluency assessments. I also administered the phonological awareness skills test, the quick phonics screener, a 3-question comprehension assessment, and a vocabulary knowledge scale assessment. Before this, I hadn't read about or had any experience with these types of assessments. At first, I was hesitant and timid in both the administration of the assessments and the interpretation of the resulting data. But by the end of the tutoring sessions, I was better able to estimate the time needed to complete the assessments, to plan for and to complete them. It does seem important to me to assess a student's foundational skills, to identify gaps, and to use the data to guide instruction. In fact, I've begun to be curious about assessing students' foundational math skills. If we use the QPS to assess letter recognition and consonant diagraphs, what do we use to assess number recognition and understanding place value?
Wow. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Carrie. Next on her plate is student teaching. How exciting. And next on your plate is a scrumptious recipe, a delicious marshmallow main dish that will leave you stuffed on the Molly Puppet Channel. Thanks.